A match type is one of the most underrated aspects of a WWE storyline. It has the potential to ruin a storyline build or make it seem better than it actually was. The amount of legendary moments that have been produced from certain match types is insane. For example, the ladder match. The ladder match is one of the most wildest matches in WWE. This match is the reason when you were climbing a ladder as a kid, you were acting like you had 1 HP left. And when I'm talking about the ladder match, I'm talking about every variation. Regular, Money in the Bank, TLC. This match is a difficult match to make boring. There's always something going on, like in a tag team ladder match. 3 teams, 6 men, all going for the same prize, and when you add tables and chairs into the mix, it's a guaranteed recipe for success. Great example was the triple threat ladder match at TLC 2015. At the time, I didn't care about the tag team division. The only tag team I cared about was the New Day, but at the end of the day, it was still a triple threat ladder match, so I knew it wasn't going to be boring, but I didn't expect it to be as entertaining as it actually was. Kofi and the Lucha Dragons were springboarded into ladders, Usos were diving onto ladders, Sin Cara was sacrificing his body, Big E lifted a ladder off of him with one hand. And the biggest moment, the icing on the cake, the Selena del Sol off the top of the ladder. That is a move that you can't think about, you just do, because you think about it, you're gonna have second guesses. And they did it onto another ladder. Kalisto was clip farming in 2015. He put his manhood on the line for the clip. But we can't talk about TLC matches without mentioning the original, the one that set the stage, set the standard for the match that we see today. Edge and Christian versus the Hardys versus the Dudleys at SummerSlam 2000. You couldn't come up with a better first impression than these 3 teams right here. It was spot after spot. Swanton bombs off ladders, 3Ds through tables, everybody was getting tipped off ladders into tables, and this could have made everything go left, especially for Matt Hardy. He was literally a few inches away from getting decapitated by the barricade. Women were getting speared. It was spectacular. They laid the groundwork, but there was one man in that match that really brought the ladder match to new heights, and that was Edge. If there was one person you had to pick to be the face of ladder matches in WWE, it would be Edge. He had multiple iconic matches. Unforgiven 2006, when he went through 2 tables from an attitude adjustment off the top of the ladder. One Night Stand 2008, he had Undertaker going through multiple tables at ringside, and Extreme Rules 2009. His spear got turned into a twist of fate off the top of the ladder. Also, he won the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match. The Money in the Bank ladder match is a match that is iconic for more than the match itself. The aftermath, legendary cash-ins, world title runs, and it's helped elevate superstars in their career. And one of my favorite Money in the Bank ladder matches was the 2013 All-Stars match. Going into the 2013 All-Stars match, WWE was promoting RVD's return like crazy, and he was my pick to win. I didn't watch his first WWE run, but I watched him in TNA, so when I heard that he was coming back to WWE, I got excited. In the match, everybody was plotting on RVD. They tried to get him up on out of there, but they couldn't hold him off, and he was taking out everybody. But eventually, RVD would get patched, and everybody would have their moment. And at one point, everybody was on the ladder, and the briefcase was just swinging. 5-star frog splash off the ladder, Sheamus splitting ladders, but there's one thing this match has that separates it from the rest, and that's the story. There is the initial story of the All-Stars match. They had something like that the year before, but unlike the year before, this match, it felt like anybody could have won. And there was also the Paul Heyman betrayal. Every year, the Money in the Bank had the same story. Oh, win the Money in the Bank and get a shot at the title. That year, they had that, plus one of their side stories woven into the match. It was something that I really liked. With all this considered, there's no way that this match isn't in everybody's top 5 Money in the Bank matches of all time. Another lit match was the Hell in a Cell. This match type, when paired with a good storyline, could be the best match ever. WWE built this matchup as this was the most dangerous thing a WWE superstar can do, that it was a rivalry ender, like in Undertaker versus Randy Orton. Undertaker versus Randy Orton was one of the best storylines of the Ruthless Aggression era. They had a WrestleMania match. It was lowriders, explosions, caskets on fires, wax dummies, returns, and an epic Hell in a Cell match. They were beating each other up left and right. There was blood everywhere, steel steps, steel chairs, and this match produced one of the coldest pictures in WWE history, and that's Undertaker standing on top of the cell, posing, looking down at Randy Orton, getting carried to the back by referees. Then there was the 6-man Hell in a Cell. This was one of the best Hell in a Cell match of all time, and it came at the perfect time. It was during the hottest period of wrestling. It featured the biggest stars in the company: Rock, Taker, Austin, Triple H, Rikishi, Angle. It had a bunch of charisma, talent, and star power that we will never see again in one match. It was chaotic, as expected. It is a Hell in a Cell match. There was back-to-back finishers. It even broke outside of the cage, and people were getting body slammed on cars, heads thrown through car windows, and a 400-pound Samoan was choke slammed off the top of the cell. Another one was Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. This storyline was my favorite one under Triple H's reign. There are few storylines that make me feel like the two superstars generally hate each other. From the tricep injury to costing the world title to the bracelet situation, the Hell in a Cell match was the perfect option to end it, and the storytelling during the match was amazing. Those two were beating each other till they couldn't go anymore. It's like they were determined to beat the other or die trying. Another match is the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble match can be the most entertaining match on this list when done correctly. Surprises, rare matchup, big moments, and a solid winner could make this the best match of all time. And finally, the Triple Threat match. This is the simplest match on this list, but it doesn't make it any less spectacular. In my opinion, it is hard to put on a bad Triple Threat match. There's too much going on. Somebody is always going after somebody else. And one of the best Triple Threat matches in WWE history has to be Rollins versus Lesnar versus Cena at the 2015 Royal Rumble. At this point, Rollins felt like a main eventer. Pre-Authority Rollins felt like another guy in a tag team. Nothing special, but since his MITB win, he really leveled up, and I low-key wanted him to win to see what would happen with the briefcase. For John Cena, I didn't feel like John Cena was gonna win. This John Cena didn't feel like the same John Cena from a year ago. He was still a main eventer, but wasn't in the same position of a main eventer, if that makes sense. And for Brock Lesnar, I was just happy to see a Brock Lesnar match and the title finally get defended. Even though I wanted Seth to win, I really felt like Brock was most likely gonna retain. This match ran so smoothly. There was very few dead moments, if any. It started off with Brock Lesnar's initial dominance. He was handing out suplexes to everybody, throwing Cena and Rollins around everywhere. But Cena and Rollins, they didn't give up. They tried to get their hits in. They took turns weakening Brock Lesnar. Cena hit him with 3 AAs, Rollins hit him with a curb stomp, but Brock was still getting up. Cena went and tried to run Brock through the barricade. That wasn't enough. He tried hitting him with the steel steps, but that wasn't enough. It wasn't until Rollins jumped off the turnbuckle, hit him with an elbow through the announcer's table, that Brock was finally down. And after that, Cena and Rollins would go on to have a classic match on their own. While Cena and Rollins were going at it, Brock Lesnar was laid out like he had 0 HP. All the health professionals came out with a stretcher ready to take Brock up on out of there. But it wasn't until Seth hit Cena with one of the cleanest Phoenix splashes that the Beast recovered. The Beast awoken, he popped right up, slid into the ring, and was handed out suplexes and F5s. He eventually gets the pin, and Brock Lesnar retains. That was one of the best WWE Triple Threat matches that I've ever seen. Now, I'm not gonna say that it can never be topped in WWE, but it's gonna be pretty hard to. So, in summary, WWE match types can be amazing.